In 1 second of time, your conscious mind processes with 2,000 neurons, while in the same second, your subconscious mind is processing with 4 billion neurons. That ratio is exactly the same ratio between an ant and an elephant. The ant is the conscious mind, the elephant, the subconscious mind. I want to go on a diet, says the conscious mind, the elephant. I'm going to walk west on the back of the elephant. I'm walking west on the back of the elephant. What if the elephant is headed east? The ant thinks he's going west, but ends up east. I want to go on a diet. Subconscious mind goes, I don't think so, and then ends up in a different way. So how do we point our ant and elephant and get them pointed in the same direction? So what I'm going to walk you through here is my story, this Olympic story, that this recreational skier to the gold medal round in the Olympic Games in just 4 years. How to get that far, that fast in a very competitive landscape with all sorts of obstacles, with the necessity of resiliency, and actually exceed my own expectations because of what I was able to accomplish, can then help us in this time that's challenging, in this time that it's a setback, and how we can break through, not just professionally with our business, but personally as well. And I'll take you through the formula, 5C formula, how to break through from these setbacks that we're experiencing right now. But the emotional buzz also has this. It has fear attached to it. Now, the reason we have to have this combination of what we aspire towards, but also the fear, is that is the human getting. Well, the term fearless. It's not about being without fear. It's about fearing less. It's being able to have this fear, but bottle up and realize this fear has significance to it. If something scares you, then it's important to you. So to have something deep down that causes some anxiety, pay attention to that anxiety and wrap your mind around what is it about that that's important that I don't want to lose or be a part of or miss out on. And so to combine the emotional buzz of both the fear and the aspirational notion, something that marching in the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games gave a tingle up and down the spine. I was like, oh, I'd love to do that. So right now, having that physical reaction from the emotional buzz is critical. The number one question I get asked all the time is, how at 26 years old did you just decide to go to the Olympic Games? I didn't start at 26 years old. It was defining moments that lead us to a place to make a decision. As part of DuPont Sustainable Solutions, we all understand that we all want to have great results. And we also default to thinking, what are those actions necessary to get those results? Really what it boils down to is understanding the cognitive model, which is those beliefs, attitudes, and truths that we each have lead to a judgment, which leads to an action, which leads to a result. And that result is in keeping with the beliefs, attitudes, and truths we had in the first place. Well, of 600 of us around the world, how many versions of the truth are there? Probably 600 different versions. So from a leadership standpoint, for us to get aligned, for us to understand that it's not necessarily just our actions that create those results, it's the beliefs and attitudes we have in the first place. Here's the tricky part. Because the ant and elephant, the activity, the conscious and subconscious mind is so profound, it's not just the conscious beliefs, attitudes, and truths we want to pay attention to, especially from a leadership standpoint. It's also the subconscious ones. Decision-making habits. We're creatures of habits. We're also creatures of decision-making habits. You want to know what habits you have that you don't know that you have? That's being able to go through the defining moments that have happened in your life. Defining moments of emotional intensity. If you list off all those moments of emotional intensity that brought you to this place here today, you will have a list of decisions you made at that moment. Those decisions are conscious and subconscious. It's the subconscious ones that we need to pay particular attention to, and especially the ones that aren't working for us. While we're COVID camping, list off your defining moments, then correlate the decisions you made at that time, and then look for patterns of decision-making habits that aren't working for you. I know you're out front of the competition right now. You want to stay that way. And one of the things you want to be able to do is make sure that CMS you rolled out to make sure everybody's engaged.
I'll give you 3 ways to be able to stay ahead of that competition.
I'm going to show you actually a video of the sport of speed skiing. Now, speed skiing is straight down the side of the mountain. There's no turns. It was a demonstration sport in the Olympics in Albertville, all with the same idea to compete in the Olympic Games in Albertville, France in speed skiing. There are gold, silver, bronze medals in those demonstration sports. And so people had that aspiration to get to those Olympic Games, including yours truly, that maybe one day could take home a gold medal and really fulfill a dream, not just to be in the Olympic Games, but to take home a gold medal. So that's the sport of speed skiing. Fear. Fear can be such a powerful disadvantage. And when fear happens, confidence goes down. And when confidence goes down, performance goes down, and the results are poor. And so what we default to in our lives is say, okay, I don't like these results. I'm going to change my performance or what I do, my actions. And there's a relationship between fear and confidence. When fear is high, confidence is low, and then you end up having poor results. What I'd encourage you to do is flip the gap and have low fear and high confidence. Irregardless of the amount of experience you have with COVID camping or a new business or a new marketplace, is to say, if your confidence is high and fear is low, this would explain beginner's luck in a way, because they don't know to be afraid. They don't know what they don't know. And so confidence can actually naturally go up, and then performance is better, and then the results are better. The inflection point, the thing that can make that occur, is to have fun. The decision to have fun prior to is a conversation from the ant to the elephant saying, just have fun, just have fun, just have fun. Folks, we all hit bumps. And it was devastating. I don't know how 14-year-old athletes or 16-year-old figure skaters can go, oh, I did my best, I'll come back next year. You know, it's like, oh my God, I was devastated, moping around. And then overheard my dad say, those Olympic Games were the greatest experience of my entire life. And then he said something that I would hope every son or daughter could hear at least once. And he said, I was so proud of my kid. Do what the competition's not willing to do. I know I've run out of time, so I'm going to leave it at that point, hand it back to Michelle. And thank you very much for your attention on this story and this formula. We got this. Take care.